I've been noticing something very weird in uthando nesthembu.
Amanye impendulo engiyoyikhipha angeke ibe yinhle. Lo mndeni uyohlukana phakathi. So ngcono ngingaphawuli.
Now, abantu abathwele, these are the signs. They'll have more than 3 wives, which is nesthembu. One of them must not have kids. Because the snake is eating the womb.
Angifuni umfazi ozongifuya. Angenza umkhofu.
Lapha ekhaya understand noma ama siblings ami angibukela phansi ngoba ngingafundile noma kunjani understand ngempela.
5 ukhona.
Uzo replace mina.
Yazi lento yesithembu lento yesithembu umbhedo. Isithembu nje hayi bafethu ngeke. Sibenefita nje umuntu oyedwa.
Umuntu okuhloniphayo awumbona umthathele ekhaya. Ingakho abantu betreat kanje.
Ukuthi why mina ngeke ngilale lapha endlini nginganayo into engizoyidla ngingazi ukuthi ngizodlani.
Lo muzi wakho uwena uzibhidlizelayo.
Umuntu ongaze aguliswe into yakhe.
Guys, umpumelelo uzawuchitha lamzi dala ndiyithetha le ndaba na last week ndiyenzile ivideo ngompumelelo saying Musa Mseleku uyawuchitha and sewuchithe ugqibile.
You see, if you've been watching any of the recent episodes of uthando nesthembu, you will realize a pattern that's beginning to emerge more and more as the seasons continue. And that's the fact that the Mseleku family is falling apart.
I'm not well.
But why is that? Why is it that a family that seems to have it all the money, all the cars in the world, all the fashion, all the glam, why is it that they can't seem to get along with one another? You see, because something interesting starts to happen when you look at the first few seasons of uthando nesthembu. You start to understand the fact that Musa Mseleku's wives really adored him. They really loved him. On TV, they would show their support, their care, their love for Musa Mseleku. He was clearly a great husband at this point. Every single episode, they would clearly sing his praises. Although they would have a few differences here and there as any polygamous marriage would, but one thing was for sure, and that's the fact that they wanted to ride this roller coaster with the family intact. However, the more you keep continuing to watch the seasons, the more and more the family unit and dynamic seems to fall down. And don't even take my opinion for it, the family members themselves have expressed this sentiment. So what is going on? Why is it that this family is clearly breaking up? You would even have people on social media saying Mseleku is creating a monster with Mpumelelo. He will destroy that family once his father passes. Where does he even get the audacity to say anything about Denande's paternity? Or does he know something that we don't as viewers perhaps? And this comment would gain 369 likes. But an even crazier comment says that Mseleku is working very hard to cause a division amongst his wives. Meanwhile, he preaches unity every chance he gets, and people would show their support because this comment would gain 694 likes. But even another comment would take things a bit deeper, saying, I love how bold Umayeni is. Mseleku does and says things that hurt his family, but when the tables are turned, it's no longer nice. He's pointed out how Umayeni always says things that hurt him and his feelings, but yet he does more than that. He's very delusional, this man, and this comment would gain almost 1,000 likes. Clearly, something is going wrong in the family. However, there could be a few factors that might help us understand better why exactly so much division and turmoil is afflicting this family. The first that I thought of was it's probably jealousy and competition. You see, when you really think about it, the wives have openly expressed feelings of jealousy and competition for Musa's attention and affection, and this rivalry will often lead to conflicts and misunderstandings among them. This is nothing new. We've often seen the fact that a lot of the times Mseleku tries his best to divide his attention amongst his 4 wives.
Ungacabanga ukuthi wena niyangapha kanti yena uyangapha. Mthombe nokuba bengifuna ngoba yena akangifuni. Yena ngacabanga ukuthi lento le ayishoyo is a small thing. Kodwa true definition ye character yakhe.
Kodwa kwazi ukuthi noma ungayenza leyo nto yakho kodwa mina okwami wakuvimba.
But some of the wives have clearly expressed that he doesn't get enough time to them, or others even say that they don't even want to spend that much time with them. And this has continued to sow the seeds of resentment amongst the wives and even Mseleku towards some of the wives. The second thing I thought of could be a possible communication breakdown. You see, at the core of this thing, miscommunication and a lack of open dialogue have created reoccurring issues. The wives sometimes feel unheard and misunderstood, which exasperates the existing tensions. But also, one thing a lot of us neglect to realize when we watch Uthando nesthembu is that a lot of the wives have individual aspirations. You see, each wife has a personal goal and desires that are not always aligned with the family's collective interests. And obviously, the best person to fit this description is obviously uMaNgwabe, as we know.
You feel like impilo yakhe imile.
Mseleku uyathanda ukuthi as ifamily yakhe kwenziwe izinto like together. Most of the time angikho because kumele ngibe semsebenzini, sinye isikhathi kumele ngibe sesikoleni, which I feel like mhlambe naye use-annoyed.
Ngoba unengcindezi enkulu ngenxa yokuthi uyafunda futhi uphinda sebenza. Zenza isikhathi sami sala ekhaya zigejana.
You see, we often forget that uMaNgwabe is a registered nurse and she had to take a step back from running the company's businesses with the rest of the wives as she needed to concentrate on her studies and getting a job. uMaNgwabe has stressed the most out of any of the wives the fact that she needs to really focus on her education, and this has put her at odds with Mseleku many times in the past. And them not seeing eye to eye would obviously lead to more issues within their specific relationship together. But now on a much deeper side, and it's probably the darker side of Uthando nesthembu, one of the issues I feel like there's so much division in the house is because of the allegations of favoritism amongst the children. You see, there have been many accusations that have arisen suggesting that Mseleku exhibits preferential treatment towards certain children, especially favoring his son Umpumelelo and his offsprings over his daughter Snare's children. Now, critics have argued that this perceived bias has caused feelings of neglect and resentment within the family, and Mseleku has refuted these claims over and over again, attributing his concerns to Snare's past behaviors and decisions, which he believes have impacted the family dynamics.
Ubaba mubi ngoba mina usuke wazi ukuthi ubaba yini ayilwelayo nami. Into kuphela okwazi ukuyizwa endizwele uma ngabe ngiphatha kabi uthando ngiphatha kabi usamkelo. Kusho ukuthi awusifuni izingane zakho ngoba mina ngizozireject until wena uqonde.
It's no secret the dynamic between Usnare and her father Mseleku, and how she clearly feels that there's a lot of favoritism happening in the family. This is just one of the big major points as to why there's contention in the families, but not only in the family but also with the children. But probably the biggest issue why the family seems to be breaking down internally is Mseleku's desire for a fifth wife. You see, Mseleku's intentions to introduce a fifth wife have been a recurring source of contention within the family. His existing wives have already expressed strong reservations, feeling that his decision might disrupt the family's harmony. And notably, his fourth wife has particularly been vocal in her opposition, and she even contemplated leaving the marriage if he continues with getting a fifth wife. As we've seen this season, this new addition to the Mseleku household has brought with it a lot of controversial moments. Even a moment where Usnare said that Mseleku's new wife is one of her friends.
It was my first time Gimbona, and I've never seen her ever again until Gimbona. So for her to say that we scheme, that's not true. That's not scheme.
At the end of the day, Mseleku has created something very remarkable and something we've never seen before, especially so publicly with Uthando nesthembu. He was able to successfully run Uthando nesthembu since 2017, and this includes not only building and growing the family, but also providing for his family as well. What Mseleku has done, few men can achieve, and I think he deserves his flowers in that regard. However, the way the current show is going and its trajectory, things are looking very grim in the future. But if Mseleku has been able to keep his family intact for so long, then I don't think there's much stopping him for continuing to do that in the future. But unfortunately, that remains to be seen.